everyone, this is Christina from organicgardendreams.com again, and this is my second Periscope broadcast about my garden in San Diego. As the title of my blog says, I'm only gardening organically. So last time I was leading you to my white garden bed, and today I will show you part of my front yard. So what you see right now is the view of my garden that I see when I go out of my front door. So I would like to start the tour by going a little bit to the right. What you see here is a white flowering cyclamen, of course because of the season, not in bloom now. This is not very interesting, but I had to remove the pot to get to where I want to get to. And this is a very, very beautiful rose. It is called White Maidiland. And I obviously have planted it in an impossible spot, in a very shady spot. But I thought it's worth the effort to kind of climb into my own garden and show you these very, very beautiful blooms. Besides that the blooms are lovely, the rose, the foliage of the rose is super clean. And I think that's quite remarkable because this year so far I have really horrible problems with rose rust and powdery mildew. But as you can see, there's not a speck on the leaves of this rose. When you see the kind of the bush shape of the rose, oops, I got stuck with my cable of the microphone in the rose. Sorry for the motion. I first have to get it out so that I can move further. Pretty stubbornly sticking in the blooms right now. Okay, so here you see the whole bush. You see it's kind of a little bit of a creeping kind of rose, a ground cover. I think that's a remarkable rose for California, and please have in mind I planted it in way too much shade, so I think it will be much better when it is planted in more sun. Okay, let's make our way back out of here and start the tour to the right. So let's just begin with the star of the garden right now. This is the Prince, an incredible, beautiful David Austin rose. Also has, as I said, like many roses right now, very severe problems with powder and mildew. So the leaves are not a beautiful sight, but the blooms definitely are, and so far I think the rose is still worth growing in my garden. The silhouette of the bush is kind of narrow and tall. I would guess maybe 5 feet tall. And what I'm seeing right now, my dark purple gladiolus, they are almost done now, but there's just one flower stalk that's very beautiful still. I just want to show it to you. Moving further, here is my little obelisk with salvia mystic spires blue. I hope I got the name right. And what I really like, I found recently a little hummingbird wind chime. I don't know if you can see it, and it picks up perfectly the color of the salvia. Moving on further down the walkway to the front door, you see the Floribunda rose, Our Lady of Guadalupe. This rose is almost at the end of its second flush, so obviously not at the height anymore, but still pretty. And again, this is just one single cluster of the rose, obviously very floriferous. Moving on, I want to show you one more highlight. This is a probably not correct what I'm saying here, a miniature geranium. I bought it actually at the San Diego garden tour of the Horticultural Society. There was also a marketplace, and there was a vendor And the man who sold it to me was Jim Semsick, and he told me that he was breeding geraniums. The name of this little plant is Linda Z, and I think it's quite charming, and I honestly like it very much planted in this flower pot, the white blue pot. Coming a little closer to show you the blooms, I think they are very, very lovely. Sorry for the helicopter sound. You see, obviously this is live, and I hope it's flying by soon. So again, this is Linda Z, a geranium, miniature geranium, and what I do like is that the size will probably stay a little bit more contained than many of, for example, the Martha Washington geraniums. This is another one in a pot, and you see how tall it is. And lovely, lovely Our Lady of Guadalupe again kind of wants to be in the picture. So moving a little forward, there is a plant called Plectanthus Mona Lavender, which is in bloom right now. I really, really like the plant a lot, but unfortunately I don't think it is suitable for my climate. When we had a heat wave in May, the leaves were really, really drying up, burned, and also the flowers right now, I think they are too delicate. They are kind of scorched. I don't know if you can see it so well, so unfortunately I think I have to remove it sooner or later, which is kind of very sad, but gardening is always try and error. Here I planted 3 white dianthus. The exact name of the variety escaped me right now, and I just like the little light that they bring into this corner, which is shaded by palm fronds. The last rose I want to show you on this side, this is Marie Pavia. This is an old garden rose. Very, very nice musk fragrance. I just show you a little bit more from the bush. And again, it's also at the end of its second flush. Turning back, facing the front door. This is the view. Guess very much Southern California. Hope you like it. So again, I'm moving towards the front door. Another rose that's in bloom, very common here in California. This is Iceberg, but this is actually climbing iceberg. And just to show you the blooms, very, very cheerful, and they have a very, very nice honey apple scent to my nose. So this rose unfortunately also has problems with powdery mildew, as you can see here, but it doesn't care in terms of flowering, it just keeps going. And here's the second of the miniature geraniums that I bought from Jim Semsick. This is called Cornelia or plum, and again it also should stay a smaller plant. Very, very nice flowers in my opinion. I just have placed it here to see if it likes the light conditions, and I hope I will plant it out into the ground very, very soon. Here's my second salvia, Mystic Spires Blue. Has become a tall bush. Somewhere there's also an obelisk in there with another hummingbird wind chime. Just see if I can find the hummingbird for you. There it is. I think again the hummingbird picks up so nicely the colors, which I like very, very much. Moving on to the last rose. This is Old Fashioned Girl, a miniature rose, which had a gorgeous first flush. The second flush is not so great, but I think that has to do with these very, very hot white wall from our garage, which reflects the heat so much back to the rose. But here's a nice bloom cluster, and then I just saw in there's another very, very beautiful bloom. So this rose is also reasonably healthy. So if you're gardening in Southern California, that might be worth trying it out. So this is the end of my garden tour today. I think I will have one last look at the beautiful prints. And again, I just want to point out that I'm writing a garden blog. If you want to visit me on my blog, it's organicgardendreams.com, and I post regular about my San Diego organic garden, but I also post about other gardens that I visited, some gardens, public and private gardens in England. Thank you so much for stopping by and doing the tour with me. Hopefully until next time. I hope you have a very nice rest of the day.